failure and success of the experiment is not in your hand. The more you do the experiment, the more you learn, right? And maybe with that failure, you will also learn from your mistakes also. Normally, this one more like misconception, like the PMs are only working with the engineering. Before that, I have to collect the data, what the actual user want, analyze the app reviews, user feedback. We have to work with the design, marketing, sales, customer support. We have a Gmail account and we keep checking that account on a day-to-day basis. But if you go to tier 2 or tier 3 market, maybe they have created, they forget the login, they won't know how to authenticate. Maybe some people won't have the email. So it totally depends on the user segment. In live streaming, the personalization is very like critical because now the user want more engaging content. The user accept like relevant content, targeted like recommendations, and the dynamic engagement from you. So actually, earlier the product management was often to delivering the features, like focusing on the output, right? Today, like there's a stronger emphasis on delivering the outcomes. The product manager is now measured by the value they created for the business and the customers.
Welcome to another episode of CRO Wizards Season 2 by VWO Podcast. With hours of in-depth conversations, we talk about using CRO to deliver what your users want, while also driving long-term growth for your business. Before we speak to our guest, here's a very quick overview of what we do. VWO is a leading experience optimization platform that enables you to gather in-depth user insights and build winning experiences across your website and mobile app. VWO Copilot, our AI champion, handles the heavy lifting of suggesting test ideas, creating variations, and finding insights, so you can focus on making strategic decisions that drive growth. Now, without further delay, let's jump right back to this conversation.
Today, we are joined by Ravi Raj, a product strategist who has been at the helm of building and scaling innovative platforms. Currently, as head of product at OTV, he is shaping a global hub for creators enhancing live streaming experiences. His journey spans multiple groundbreaking products, leading product development at MyU app to revolutionize school communication, spearheading Sheroes, a thriving social network for women, and driving innovation at OO, one of India's leading dating apps. He has also ventured into esports and casual gaming with Mojo Gaming, building something truly exciting in this space. With his deep expertise in product strategy and growth, Ravi brings invaluable insights into what makes products not just work but win. Let's dive right in and explore the fascinating insights Ravi brings to the table. Hi Ravi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good as well. Thanks for asking. So, Ravi, since you've done so much in the product development space, I would really love to know, growing up, did you know that you wanted to be in this particular field, or was there something else that you dreamt of pursuing?
Good question. I never thought like I will come in this field, right? Like to be serious with you. When I passed out from college, founded my own startup, right? And that time I was spending a lot of time on ground, right? Like collecting user data, talking with the restaurants, like I started also like talking with different type of user sets. So that like slowly I built an interest in this. I thought, oh, if I this very interesting space, like to know actually what the user problem is, how to solve it. Then slowly I like, pursued the same field. After 3 years I spent in the same space, like in my own startup. Then from last 12 years I'm working in the same space, right? And like and like every day is a like challenging in the product, right? So the new problem statement on a day-to-day basis, like we're talking about our users, we figure out what we can do next. So of course, like now I don't want to continue in this space.
Got it. Since you've spent more than a decade in product development efforts, Ravi, I really would love to know, how have you seen the product management space evolve the past over few years?
So yeah, so over past few years, the product management space has evolved significantly, right? Driven by changes in technologies, customer experience, and the way business operates, right? So there are a few trends which I have observed, right? So now is shift from output to outcome, right? So actually earlier the product management was often to delivering the features, like focusing on the output, right? Today, like there's a stronger emphasis on delivering the outcome, right? The product manager is now measured by the value they created for the business and right and the customers, not just by shipping number of features they are doing, right? And now there a lot of tools are available for the data, right? So with the explosion of the data and analytics tool, product manager now is more have access to more insights, right, than ever before. Decision increasing like driven by data rather than the intuition alone, right? A/B testing, user behavior analytics, experiment frameworks have been became an essential tool in the product manager toolkit, right? Now, like the more like agile and like lean methodologies are in the system, right? So these practices are enabling team to iterate quickly, to learn from the failures, adapt for the changing like which the market needs, right? So these will be the lead to close like collaboration with the product engineering design team, right? So and plus focus on the experiment and the iteration. The concept of building the minimum viable product like, and iteration based on the feedback have become a center of the product development now. Right? This approach reduces risk, ensure faster time to iterate, and low team to uh, yeah, and allow team to validate the assumption earlier in the process. Right? Plus, now the one more thing. Now, product management is not only like the only technical skill, right? While the technical skills are still important, but soft skills like communication, empathy, stakeholder management have become critical. Because now the product managers are now expected to be a great storyteller, so aligned with the team, and plus, and the stakeholders are like around a shared vision with them. So these are few changes in the system now. Plus, like if you see the lot of projects so now because of AI, right? So now, yeah, so now AI is not so much in the day-to-day life of the product managers, right? So yeah, with the help of the AI, the product managers are like streamlining their task as well, right? Now they can focus more on the actual problem statement, like which is user, right? And all the other tasks, they're already doing the automation of the task like well before. So yeah, so of course, if you see the overall the primary space have become more dynamic now, strategic and customer focused, and like I think they're like so it's exciting time to be in this field.
Got it. I mean, you've touched upon a lot of things, on the perspective, the space, how it evolved. One thing that I particularly would love to know your thoughts was about, you mentioned that you have to be a really good storyteller. You have to, interact with a lot of teams because you being the center of communication here, delivering and aligning the teams, right? How do you ensure that the message is, sent across right, and how do you align the teams accordingly?
So yeah, so like you have to align the team like accordingly. First, like so first I should be clear, right? What I want to be conveyed to the team, right? And like what actually the agenda with like which I want to communicate to the team, right? Plus, like so like my day-to-day work, like I have to work with the multiple the team members, like maybe like design team, marketing, right, finance, like management and all. So like so like, I should always like well prepared before, right? So like what I want to be convey, what my thought process, plus the same I have to pass to my team as well. Like what we have to be do. So like of course, so like we work more on like better on the like sprint cycles, right? So like we are well prepared what we have to be achieved in this month, what the business goal is, right? What the product want to achieve. So yeah, so it will help us a lot, like to streamline the whole process, right?
Got it. That makes sense. So I have one more question, with regards to data points. Like what types of data points do you monitor regularly to ensure product is fully optimized? Are you also collecting user feedback regularly? You did mention about A/B testing and optimization. Are you also collecting user feedback on top of this?
So like maybe like to ensure the product is properly optimized, I have focused on a combination of quantitative and qualitative like insights, right? So in that, if you take the quantitative data, right? So the user metrics, like which is very like important, which is like active user, which is like DAO to MAU ratio, right? Then the session duration and frequencies and the feature adoption rates, right? So in this, we'll see like so what the daily DAO to MAU ratio is, or the normal like average the session duration and frequency of the user, plus like features which are being used. So like the feature which are built, like which is used like very frequently, right? Which is a feature are underutilized so that we can plan better, like on which feature we have to like spend time or not, right? Then the if you see the metrics, like retention is very important metrics, retention and churn, right? So yeah, and churn is very important. So like we keep tracking how different user group are doing over time, like to understand the retention, right? Patterns. Plus to see the churn rate also, the percentage user who already left like the product. First we figure out like what the actual reason is, right? So like why the users churn. So maybe so like help us to keep little deeper, right? To know the actual pain point of the user who left, right? Uh, so uh, and then we have the conversion metrics, which we see like the funnel, like so we'll see like different funnels we have like already tracked, like a sign up funnel, onboarding, purchase, and these funnels will help us to see like maybe where the drop off is, right? We have to find the drop off points, right? And based on this funnel, we like we find some funnel is not behaving like as normal. So we figure, of course, there's some problem in few things. So we will go back and we check, right? And like maybe the same people will have the QA also like to test like why this drop is coming, right? Maybe my UX or UI broken on is broken at some point. So plus yeah, so other than your conversion metrics, then the performance metrics also is very like so it's also very important metrics like so maybe the load time and latency because like we are in so like we are on the live stream product, right? So for us the load time and latency and the error rate is very important. Like we don't want like because if there's a load time and the latency in the product, so of course they lag between the content, right? So yeah, because these are so the two-way communication is so in the live streaming. So like we have to reduce the latency as much as possible, right? Yeah, and uh, and over the top, like these are something which only run the products, like to see the help. Then come the business metrics, which is very important because at the end the goal is how to generate revenue, right? So like we have like very closely tracked the revenue and monetization metrics, right? Like ARPU, like what ARPU is, like and maybe the sales, the in-app purchase, payment channels, right, is working like properly or not, which the payment channel has, so have the higher failure rate, which is like running normally. Plus, we and time to time we keep checking the LTV also. Like yeah, so like to so maybe so by understanding the long term value of the user, like to prioritize the high impact improvement, we keep checking the LTV ratio is like is healthy or not. Because because the LTV will help us to like how much we can spend more on the marketing, right? Maybe the LTV ratio is healthy, right? So maybe it will also help me to make a plan. Okay, like how much now, so like what the buffer I have, which I can spend on marketing, right? So this is some quantitative data, like which like we keep tracking on day to day, so like maybe on day to day basis. Then come the qualitative data, which is like user feedback. So like maybe it's, so for the user feedback, we have a different channels we have indicated in the product. So uh, we have in-app survey form. We keep checking the app reviews, right? So we closely monitor the app reviews. We closely monitor so actually the customer support channels, right? So now the user is raising the queries, right? So these user feedbacks will help us a lot, like to actually understand because it's very difficult to reach out to each and every user of the product, right? So maybe sometimes these feedbacks will help you a lot, like to understand because normally what happens you see like for the few segment of user your app is working like perfectly on some device or some network, right? But like maybe like all the other segment of user is not working, maybe on the low network, right? So maybe your product's not working fine. So based on this feedback, we keep collecting and we'll see what are the actual pain point the user is facing, what they want from us, right? Plus the user feedback in terms of both content and the user. So we'll talk to them, we'll do the user interviews, right? So to check, right, like currently with the feature which we built, like how user friendly like they are, right? In the terms what they want on the platform next, like what the new things they want to see on the platform. Because in the live stream we have two different segment of users. One is the content creators, right? So of course that the content creators want more and more tools, right? Maybe they want a lot of things in the system, but of course you can't fulfill all the needs at a one shot. So we'll see like which is the low hanging fruit, which create a high impact. So based on that, we do a lot of so we do a lot of like user interviews and the beta testing before rolling out any feature. And plus, we keep doing the competitor analysis, so keeping an eye on the competitor product to understand not direct but like indirect product as well, which maybe in the same category. So what they are doing, what the new in the market, right? So of course, so that user feedback like matter a lot, right? Plus, like the feedback loop, we are regularly like working on the feedback loops. So yes, we are collecting user feedback in a continuous process with the different tools we already have in the system, right? Additionally, we have structured like a format for reviewing the feedback on a weekly and a monthly basis, right? Yeah, so these feedbacks so like all the opportunity we collect the feedback will sit and we so like and we go through each and every feedback, right, which is common. So we'll see like which is the feedback have a so maybe higher count, and based on that we discuss like so what we can do for these feedbacks. Maybe this problem is there, so can we again check? Maybe uh, is only a 1% user problem, or maybe like for the more users getting impacted from like this, right? So we keep checking at this, so we keep talking with the users. So of course, user feedback will help you a lot, and plus the app reviews as well.
Wow, you not only touched about qualitative but also quantitative on the LTV side. So this actually brings me to my next question is like how do you prioritize which features to focus based on business goals like LTV value that we been discussing so long, and does stakeholder involvement play a role in this?
So actually, the prioritizing is a mix of impact, effort, and alignment with the business goals, right? And we use a different framework for that. So there's a rice model which there, like so in the rice model we see like reach, impact, confidence, and effort, right? And yeah, and to evaluate the feature based on the impact and the perceived effort, right? Because of course we want to see like which feature will create a higher impact and the less effort. Because of course we are in a B2B space, so of course we have to roll the things faster, right? Plus, to roll the feature faster, plus you have to see also like what impact will create, which metrics will move with this feature. It's not just like in the terms like you want to build a feature rollout, so like you do it, right? But of course, that feature should be fulfill some goal as well, right? Plus we check the North Star metrics alignment. We focus on the features which drive the core value and the KPIs, right? Like the engagement, retention, and the revenue for us, right? Plus, so other than this, then we keep doing the experiment and the MVPs. So with the smaller test iterations before we rolling out the full-fledged feature, right? So of course, so that the experiment and MVP will help us, right? Maybe we have to build this feature or not, right? So that MBA experiment, so by lit because your experiment will take a very less time, right, to build a whole feature. So we'll do this the experiment bit or maybe the A/B testing. We roll out the feature. We'll see like how the user using it, whether like maybe they're using it or not, right? If we see the data, if data will say okay, fine, it's you can go ahead on the next step. Then we'll take a call. Otherwise, we'll drop that feature there itself. Of course, in the terms of stakeholders, will the involvement play a very like important role, right? Because like in the product, of course, you're working with the different the the stakeholders. So the engineering will help you to access the technical feasibility of the features which you're building, right? Because as the product manager, I can write a full-fledged PRD, create a big feature, right? But till the time the engineering will say, okay, fine, yeah, it's not like feasible, right? Maybe like we have to again think through. So of course, so like from the point of engineering, also we have to think like from the engineering point of view as well. Plus, operation and marketing team will help us to share the user pain points and the marketing trends, right? Because marketing and operation team will help us. Okay, like these are feedbacks are in the so these are feedback, these are user the interviews are there, right? So so it will help us to understand the actual pain point, right? Before because till the time still this pain point exists in the product and you're building a new feature, right? So there's no point. So it's better the pain point which user is already facing first. I will solve that and then go in the next to build a new feature. Right? Or parallelly, the vice versa building. So we planning in such a way that existing pain point will also get resolved with the existing feature, like plan, right? And and of course the leadership, of course, like they will keep you on track on the business goal, right? So that you won't lose because your finance and your the leadership will tell you like what the business goal we have for this quarter or this year. So based on that, you also pick the features, right? Okay, fine. Like maybe this quarter, the goal is to increase the a user count, or maybe you like increase the DAO or revenue. So then we'll pick the feature in such a way we find like this feature will help me to increase the maybe a DAO, or maybe this feature will maybe help him to increase me like retention or revenue. So yeah, so based on that, we'll create the feature. So it's the same way like the last quarter we are working on a like on the user acquisition, right? and that time the biggest problem you're facing, like you're acquiring the user, but like the churn rate is very high, right? So, but to increase it out, then we are like on the whole roadmap, yeah. So like something is not working. So which feature can help us to to increase the stickiness or the retention of the platform? Then we thought let's work on the gamification first, right? Like the gamification, like a leaderboard or like daily stakes, and will help you to hold the user for some like maybe for a week, 1 week to retention to keep check. So yeah, so of course, like all these things will help us like to plan the like roadmap of the product.
Got it. Since you mentioned about retention, churn, is there any framework that you use to ensure or prioritize particular features? Like I've heard like ICE framework. There is so much more. Is there any particular
So
framework that you
yeah,
use?
like currently like we use two framework. One is Rise, which we're using, right? So yeah, so like of course Rise will help you like the reach, impact, confidence, effort, right? So in that we always go for someone which has the high impact and low effort and better reach, right? And plus then we have like in the North Star metrics. So we always see like with these features, how can this feature will help me to increase the like revenue as well? because because at the end goal with all these feature like deployments or the work, like how can we generate more revenue, right? So of course, like we'll keep checking with every feature we're rolling out, which feature will increase my conversion rate, right? So maybe if I'm like rolling out a gamification feature, right? So that feature so maybe how can it will help me to increase the retention, right? There's a like rule number one. Plus, if the retention will increase, right? Maybe so suppose my week one retention is X%, right? But due to gamification, so that my retention will improve to like X plus 1%, right? So that's your first pain point will solve. Now, the second is like you find how you generate more revenue from that. So if the user is stay longer on the platform, right? So of course the user like after some time like you can convert that user also like as a paid user, right? Maybe through like different maybe through a different experiment, freebies and all, right? So then maybe after some time the free user can be a paid user.
Got it. So there is always the importance on revenue, which is the end goal as well when it comes to outcome-driven, product management.
So like you're right because like normally when you build a product, right? Of course, product is very important, but like as a business goal, is also very important, right? Maybe you create like uh, you build a great product, but till the time you're not able to monetize the users, or maybe like your end goal is not getting fulfilled, right? Right. So in the terms of usage and everything, it sounds good, right? But normally, like what you want to achieve, the end goal should will get fulfilled. So that's why like we keep your the like revenue metrics also with like aligned with the feature, like all your attention and engagement as well.
Got it. I mean, this has been a really insightful conversation so far. So, I would really love to know, like, as head of product, how do you ensure your team stays aligned with the spirit of experimentation and adopts it as a mindset? Because this is something that every, product manager that we speak are, finding it a little difficult. Would love to know how is that you're ensuring.
Okay, so of course, this the experiments, right? So how I align my team on like to focus on the experiment more than so of course this is maybe your like leadership quality process or the cultural performance you have, right? So maybe like normally I will lead by the example with the team, right? So like how the this like experiment will help us to meet other products. We'll take the example of the different products in the market, like how like these small changes like will help to increase maybe the X to Y metrics of the different products, right? Maybe how the growth is happening on the different products. So just to give like maybe the more you iterate the product, right? So like maybe the more you iterate the product, it's better you learn, right? So it's plus you like of course the second thing like you do a lot of the experiment. Of course, like failure and success of the experiment like is not in your hand, right? So it's better. So the more you do the experiment, the more you learn, right? And maybe with that failure, like you will so learn from your mistakes also. Maybe the next time you will keep that thing in mind. Okay, fine. This is something which is not I have to do, right? So yeah. So in my team, like I give the complete freedom to like all my team members, right? Because same time I treat my team as the owner of the product as well. is not like so like maybe I'm the head of product. So like so what I said is the final decision, right? So is a more freedom in the team, so that because the more the freedom you give the team and the more the ownership you give the team, right? So like slowly they also feel okay, like this, so like they also the owner of the product. So they think what you can, so what the new they can build, what the new can they think, and it will give more space to think out of the box as well, right?
Got it. So giving them the freedom is actually, it helps them to
Yeah,
align the spirits. Got it.
yes, yes, and plus like so like more than afraid also like push them to use the different tools, right? So maybe not so like maybe go for the A/B testing more, right? See, like maybe what the experiment you're doing, right? So do so you can do the A/B testing. You can see like before and after impact, or maybe like same like on the same experiment, like how the two different segment of user is behaving, right? Plus there are a lot of there are a lot of like analytics tools are in the market, right? So like the more you sit on the data, see the data, what the data is so what the data is maybe telling you, better before jumping on the solution, first like analyze the data, right? So
Got it.
is yeah, so the more I will push my team to work more on the so like on these fronts. So don't jump directly on the final full-fledged feature. So it's better like learn from the different experiment, then create the MVP, then once you are confirmed, then jump on the like full and final feature.
Got it. Now, speaking about experimentation, I would also, like to understand how do you approach personalization, in live streaming experiences. Do you think both personalization and experimentation should be prioritized equally?
Of course, see, so in live streaming, so that presentation is very like critical, right? Because now the user want more like engaging content, right? So that's why so like and plus the user want to be see things very so maybe terms of like recommendation, right? So of course in the live streaming your like presentation is play very a critical role, right? Because like user so maybe the user to accept like relevant content, targeted like recommendations, and the dynamic engagement from you, right? plus Plus the personalization will help to increase the watch time, engagement, and like monetization and retention, right? So the more the personalized right content you give to user, then maybe user will spend more time on the product. So of course the more the time the user will spend on the your product, your engagement will increase, right?
Got
If the
it.
engagement will increase like slowly, that engagement will get converted in your retention and the monetization.
Makes sense. So, since in the beginning of the conversation that you mentioned that currently you're running some tests, right? Especially for retention and acquisition part. So, I would love to know what are some use cases of experimentation for OTT apps, and can you also share some of the recent tests you've run?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So like in the term, so the experiment which we are running, the live streaming is focused on the engagement, monetization, the retention, and like recently on the OTV, like we of course like it's the live streaming, right? Mostly if you see on the OTTs, the first the eye catchy thing is your thumbnail, right? Before opening anything, right? Maybe like so if you open any like OTT platform, first you see the cover image, right? So first you check the companies, then you click, and then you check the description of the maybe the movie or the series, right? So of course that the thumbnail automation is very important. Like so in that like we have tested with a different with different cover image for the streams, right? So we have taken a multiple of the cover images, right? And based on the time durations, and we keep rotating them. And because of this, this like the click through rate is increased by 10 to 15%, right? Yeah. Plus in the OTT, you're like, of course, user want like, of course, like user is spending so much time on the platform, right? So like user want him like better. So better. So like we have personalized the push notification, right? So we do the A/B testing on the time based and the like on the behavior based. So time on a specific time when the user is coming, right? So we are not bombarding the user throughout the day with the notifications, right? So we know like normally like at what time the user will come, right? So based on that, we are sending the push notification, or maybe the content user is already consumed. Based on that, we are sending the personalized push notification. Maybe your XYZ of like host is now live, right? So there's personalized push so that the notification will help a lot. Plus gamification model like help a lot, right? So like in the live streaming app which we have, so we have like different like the leadership versus like daily like incentives, right? Like for the gifter for the like for the engagement. So with this experiment, so we have done the leadership like on so we have the leaderboard on the so we do a different contest on day basis for the users like on the platform, and we are giving like a lucky draw which is incentive to the users. So with this users getting a lot of like virtual currency like in the form of gift, plus these virtual, so when the user will like start spend using this currency like to gift a like virtual gift to the host. So once the user will get engaged with the content, so he will do a more purchase, right? So with this, like we have seen, like the conversion rate, like from the non-paid user to paid user, is increased by like 15 to 20%, right? Yeah, yeah, and plus with all this, so all this personalization and all this, we have seen like slowly users start spending like little higher. So there is ARPU also increasing with that.
Got it. I mean, that was I've heard that gamification always boosts engagement, but never heard that it also increases the revenue part as well. So which was something
Yeah,
something new
so
alert for me.
so I will tell you. So so of course there's pro and cons of gamification both the side, because like the platform like the live stream we have, right? So like we have do a lot of different type of gamification on the platform, but we see like so like sometimes a lot of users will misuse that, because like you are doing experiments on, maybe you are the top three in the leaderboard, will give some incentive or like free diamonds, right? These diamonds user can use to purchase a virtual gift, or maybe they can use it to gift the host, right?
Okay.
But we have seen like normally like you have to be very think through when you do all these gamifications, right? So maybe so like because of that we have seen better to give something directly in the user wallet, right? Give something in a virtual form to the user, so that user can spend the same currency in the form of gifting to the host, right?
Okay.
So normally what will happen, like so actually the um, on a Woo TV we have virtual gift, so slowly user will get will start interacting with the host, right? So he will like maybe so maybe he or she will like the host content. So first he will use the virtual currency you give on due to like based on the gamification on the day-to-day basis, right?
Okay.
After that, once it became a habit, right, then user will start purchasing, right? So this is plus now like when you're creating a leaderboard, right? So like different leaderboards, you have the daily stack, and you're giving but a lot of like exposure to the user on your platform. So user also feel like I'm on top three, right?
Hi.
Now user want to always stay on top three or top five. He will spend more because now it's a
True.
habit for the user. So slowly we want to see like slowly how the user will get a habit of such positions. Maybe he like always want to be a like gifter of the week, because because when you became a so yeah, so like when you became a gifter of the week, like we send a push notification to all the user across the platform, right? So it will give you more like exposure to that user. So when this user will come on any other users other host stream, they will get a special attention, right?
Okay.
The
Okay.
more the special attention you will get, so automatically you say, okay, like now I want to keep this, right? So you will spend more.
Exactly right. Yeah, I think I can actually imagine it right now. So, I also would love to know, what's your take on the overlaps between product management and CRO? Can they exist separately and still work in tandem? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So yes. So actually, management and the CRO work like hand in hand, but serve like different roles, right? PM focus on the overall user journey from onboarding to retention, and the CRO is focused more on the micro like conversions, like optimizing specific like interactions, maybe the checkout flow, like CTA button, right? So yeah, but at the end, the motive and goal for the PM and the for the CRO is same, right? But yeah, but like as a project man, sorry, so like as a project manager, see the overall big picture, right? Because like so he's not working on a single feature, right? He want to like work on a different feature, so he always work on a bigger picture. But CRO know like what he want to be optimized, right? So what is the actual specific optimization field or the point is. So if you want to increase the checkout flow, or maybe he want to increase the checkout percentage. So he work with the with the product managers and the different team to increase that. But his pain point is one, right? But yeah, but for the product manager, like he want to see overall payment flow, from like when the user will click on some pack, then after that we'll see like which are payment gateway are working fine or not, right? If payment gateway working fine, why the user dropped, like what the reason of the drop maybe is, like from the app side or from the gateway side, right? So these are the bigger picture the project manager will see, like in the terms of optimization of specific. But the CRO know his role very defined, and there's a short term role, like because as a project manager, your goals are like long term, right? But CRO always work on the short term goals. The short term goals, of course, my goal is to increase the checkout rate, right? So so he will keep a frame of like 1 month or 2 months to increase that, like to work on that.
Got it. So it's more or less like, CRO's KPIs are more focused on metrics, more obsessed over metrics. Is that what you mean?
No, so uh, see actually, PM and CRO both focus on the metrics, right? For us, like for both of them, like they first see the metrics and data, right? Because PM will see the overall metrics. So yeah, so like as we discussed uh, above, right? So like as a the product manager, you see a lot of metrics on a day basis. Like you see your so your revenue metrics or user metrics, right? Your so like your funnel metrics, right? So you see different metrics on day-to-day basis, right? You see all the reports. But CRO, like as a CRO, right? If you like you see the metrics, but the focus to see the metrics is very specific, right? If you are working on a specific like problem statement, or like you are working to increase the conversion rate, right? So you only see those metrics for for that duration, because you don't want to see like what the other thing is, like maybe so like what the other thing is happening in the product, right? Because that's not your focus, because in the product you have a lot of features in the product, right? So but like you don't want to divert your like focus than your end goal which you want to solve. So that's why CRO is very like specific to the point, and so like that's why they work on the short term goal.
Got it. I think now it makes much more clear sense after giving me the examples. So also, looking ahead, what predictions do you have for the future of live streaming apps in the next 3 to 5 years?
So, so now you see, like now the AI is very much involved in like in day to day, right?
Yeah.
So I think like now is like till now, like all the recommendation is we are doing is based on the data, so like user behavior, user preferences, right? What
Huh.
the user is consuming. Now, like of course in next 3 4 years, like everything should be like AI driven. So all your personalization and the recommendation is AI driven. So it's more hyper personalized content like suggestions come, right? Then of course then the decentralization of monetization, because currently now the blockchain, blockchain payment gateways, NFTs are there in the picture. Then your AR/VR, but so your AR/VR live streaming, right? So there are a lot of your 360-degree uh, live concerts you can see through maybe virtual reality.
Oh, I
So
mean, is it
maybe
already there or it's in the future? Is what you think?
uh, yeah, so it's already there. A lot of people are working in that, right?
Okay.
So maybe slowly it's became more feasible, right? Then you can do a lot of your currently your live poll will be there, your co-streaming, right? Or maybe your like AI generated host as well, because currently the host which we are like getting, right, is humans, right? But like in the future you see a lot of people, plus your currently so most of things is your like strong like AI moderation as well. So like so with the help of like in next 3 years your moderation will be automated, like your content will get filtered automatically based on the user like preference. So so right what the user want. So maybe you only maybe like today the biggest problem which I will tell you, if you go to Netflix, right, there are a lot of content are there, right? Or maybe you go to the Netflix or any OTT, you keep scrolling sometime, right, and then you give up. You say okay fine, and like after like you won't find any like, relevant content, you watch something, right? But now like slowly when like all like maybe 3 4 years things will get changed, because like as user only these are the five things the user will like. So your choices will be very specific and to the point. So yeah, so that user won't waste his time to to explore the content.
Got it. But then, what do you think about this AI influencers? Because it's everywhere, like the live streaming part itself.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, so now that the AI is like too much involved in not in the live streaming. So like across your day to day tasks, like maybe we are using like AI for everything now. Like so like maybe after ChatGPT, most of I think a lot of things we ask to the ChatGPT only to draft a mail, like everything, right? So of course in the live streaming, like in the Wooty, what we are doing, like we are working. So we are using the AI for the content recommendation, right? So yeah, so we are using it like in a such a way we keep testing with a different type of content with the user, right? And we'll see like which so like a thumbnail, right? So with the help of AI, like we keep changing the different uh, so we keep changing the format so the position of the tabs and content so the user will know what actually user like. Then we have like in the we completely automated the moderation. So we do the real time detection of the inappropriate content and we keep filtering them out, right? Uh, uh, and then we have like integrated the AI as a chatbot. So yeah, so like we are using a chatbot for the user support, right? Because of course because like we can't because we don't want to keep someone like so like 24 into 7 in the support. So of course we know what is the basic question. So like from last 1 year of like learning, we know what the actual like when the host will come, what their normal questions are, right? So maybe so in terms, so like maybe how can I go live, or maybe how can so like I will earn, how can I will withdraw from my wallet. So therefore, so of course, so we have integrated a chatbot like to help them, like just to the and then the A/B testing and the automation which we are already doing with the AI. So of course the AI is helping to so like helping in automation and scale up faster than ever now. So yeah, same which I do, right? Before, as a product manager, you have to spend a lot of time like to writing the PRDs and all, right? Now, if you are clear, right, what you want, right? If you are very clear in your thought process, maybe your AI or your ChatGPT will help you to create a PRD. You just put the point, he will write you, we find like what the actual thing you want, right? So of course, it's saving a lot of time of the product managers and the teams as well, right? So maybe in terms of with the help of AI, you can, if any marketing team or maybe any data team want to analyze the data, they just feed the data and it will give you picture and maybe it can tell you, okay, fine, actual where is the pain point is, right? Where so like where you have to work, where the user is dropping. So of course, it's like so in the terms of AI will help you a lot in the terms of like day-to-day life now. In the product level, so in your day-to-day work as well.
Okay. I mean, we've been more focused on the AI part on the product level, and you touched upon certain aspects of day-to-day level. Would be great. Is there any Gen AI workflow that you're following currently, or as part of the
Yes.
product management efforts?
Yeah, so now like the Genia, right? Of course, is working now. If you see, right, if you go to or Google Analytics, right, or maybe the Firebase, you find the Gen AI option there, right? So just you have to integrate the Gen AI in your product. So maybe your dashboard will start like giving a data based on the Gen AI, right? So of course, so a lot of where like you see like in everywhere you see the AI in the picture now, right? If you open a WhatsApp, if don't, so maybe WhatsApp your option, you click there, what you're finding it will help you. Go to the dashboard, different dashboards or any platforms. You find that these other AI and the chatbots in the system, or maybe the who can like help you to resolve your queries faster now.
True, true. Any Gen AI tools that you are using to make your work easier that you can recommend?
Yeah, so of course, so now currently, like for day to day, of course, we are using we are using ChatGPT, we are using right now the deep shake is like already in the in the picture. So of course, like in the terms of like for us, like we are using them, but in the terms of product, we are using we are like integrated so AI and the we are integrated the AI and the machine learning. We are using the Google Gen AI, right? Like on the different dashboards.
Okay. Gotcha, gotcha. So I also always fascinated by this particular part where uh, Do you think there are any misconceptions about product management that you believe businesses should know? There are so many misconceptions, right, about product management.
So, of course, right. So, um, you are right, right. So, actual product managers are not are so like normally people will think the product managers are the project managers as well, right? But this is the biggest misconception, right? So normally the PMs just managing. So like someone think okay, PMs are just managing timelines and deliverable, right? It's not right. So actually, in reality, the PMs coordinate with the so maybe coordinate with the different teams, right? They are working with the so like they work on the vision, strategy, and roadmap, ensuring the product resolve all the real users problem, right? But normally, marketing and sales team think, okay, fine, yeah, you guys are just building the feature and shipping, right? Other than that, what you are doing, right? So that's the work. And plus, normally there's one more like misconception like the PMs are only working with the engineering because, of course, the most of the time we are spending with the engineering because we are so like we want to build the feature, but it's not like as a product manager, I can't build a feature only to work with the engineering, right? To build a feature before that I have to be get involved with the different stakeholder like marketing ops team which will help me to collect the data who will tell me okay, what the actual user want, right? They help me to analyze the app reviews so user feedbacks. So on that I will collect that, first I have to work on them, right? Then we work with the engineering. So of course we have to work, not only work with the engineering team, we have to work with all the maybe the design, marketing, sales, customer support, everyone we have to work, right? Plus is the biggest misconception the PM will take all the decisions, right? So it's like the PM is the CEO of the product, right? It's not that. The Yeah. So it's not like so actual the managers are not the decision makers, right? They are like they are first so like you have to be keep everyone on the same page, right? So that the product manager is the one who will first like negotiate, bring everyone on the table first, right? Will share the what the actual reason is, what the like the problem statement we are solving, right? And take each and every stakeholder's feedback, right? Because uh, because the sales and marketing team have different requirement, right? Business have a different requirements, right? Stakeholders have a different business goals, right? Engineering want to do something else, right? So of course the first we have to be bring everyone on the table, then to first we have to like all these people will take the same decision, right? So their final decision will going to be the PM decision now. The only thing sometime, of course, like because the PM is more work on the data, so they can push not push they can pitch their decision with the fact and figures, right? So yeah, so like why I want to take this decision, so of course they have the backup data for that. And there's one more misconception like PM don't need technical skills, of course,
Yeah,
like
true.
so it's like so you see now the lot of trends. So now the lot of PMs are coming in the market, right? But it's not but currently, of course, the PM like you don't need to code, right? But like you have to understand the technical constraint, right? So that you can communicate like effective with the engineering team and make like informed trade-off, right? So like you should be know the basic technical lingos, right? Lingo system, so that so you know what actually what the your so what your engineering team is like discussing or telling you, right? Because of course like they always work in the so like maybe so actually they are always talk in the technical language. Till the time you won't know what they're talking or the API like callbacks and all, right? You won't understand, right? So only like they say fine, yeah, like we have told you that, right? So of course it's not like you good in the coding, but you know like basic technical skills like to be a good PM.
God, I mean, these are some of the conceptions that you told. These are the misconceptions, which makes total sense after reasoned it out. This is because of this. So I'm totally on that page. So I mean, we've been talking a lot about product management so far. I just want to take a break and would love to know what's your favorite way to unwind after a long day.
So yeah, so like actually like I have dogs, right? So maybe after a long day, I will take my dogs for a walk, like for 30 40 minutes, right? So that is the time like I have not keep my phone with me. So so that I will like play with my dogs. So I think that's the best time I spend, right? So that 34 minutes plus like normally like a morning, like I mostly go to gym. So that 2 3 hours I will keep every all the devices at home, and that is the time I will spend on thinking to plan my day, like what so like what I have to do, what are the actual pain the bigger problem already in the so like in the team which I have to solve, right? So that's so like these are two things which is the best way like I will.
Got it. Also, people say that most of the creative ideas come during this particular. Is there something that you come up with also?
Yeah, so see, normally the time so when you go to gym, right, or gym, or like maybe you spend a like alone time, you can quietly think like normally today what the biggest like distraction is your phone, right? Like that's the habit now, like you most of the time you spend your phone, right? Yeah, so that's why like I always keep my phone at home when I go out, right? Maybe on the walk or with like gym. So that time I will think like if that some problem is already like which I so which we have already discussed. So I keep thinking, yeah, how to solve it, what the, like what is the different can yeah, so like what will be different like solution for that problem, right? Or maybe like if you're with your friends, so just give an example, okay, like if this is the problem statement, so what you will do. So you keep, yeah, so more you think, and the more the time you spend alone, maybe I think you think better.
Got it. I think we've been having a very pretty long conversation now, so we're almost at the end. I would love to wrap the session with some rapid fire questions that we have prepared for you. So my first question for you is that if you were starting a career in product management today, what is the one thing that you would do differently?
So yeah, so the time now, like if I want to start, my career in the project management, the one thing which I differently first maybe that time like so I told you like the time when I started that time we are more focused only to just ship the products, right? Like, but now I think what are different before now I will work more on the data and the critical thinking and the strategy first, right? So these things like of course so this is also a very big there's a misconception as well. So this is a way maybe I will completely change my thinking will be more from the user focused and the data driven, right, than the gut feeling. Because now is like so like as I told you, there are a lot of tools are already available in the market, right? Like which can help you to analyze the data to know actually what the data is telling. So other than to just take based on the assumptions and the gut feelings to and build something, right? Right, and yeah, and then you again like roll back because like that was your gut feeling, but now it's better I will first think through before jumping on a solution. So before I used to do like okay fine, that's a problem statement, I will directly jump on the solution. But now I will not do that first, like before jumping a solution first I will try to understand why that problem is, right? So why this problem is, what actually the basic and like how differently I can solve that problem.
Got it. So it's more like now data driven.
Yeah, it's more data driven and more slicing the problem statement, like to slice the problem more and more. So before jumping a solution, you have backup of the thought process and your point. So when you so like when you try to pitch your solution to someone, you have the backup. Like why I'm thinking this way. So and how deep you are think through the, on that problem statement.
Gotcha. Okay, so first app that you check when you wake up.
Reports.
Really? I was hoping WhatsApp you would say.
No, no. So yeah, because that's the first thing which I check. Like in the morning, like when I wake up, I will check like so all the automated reports which we are getting. Because when I will check the report, and after that when I will go to gym, so I will see which is the matter. So after checking the, I know, yeah, so I know the day before number and like today's number. So I will keep checking why they dropped. So maybe when I will do a scrum in the morning, right? So I can highlight, okay, fine, these are like this matrix is dropping, right? Maybe can you find out the reason why it dropped, right? So we'll check the same day, a week before, or maybe a day before yesterday is what on the higher side. But after like maybe so that will help us to analyze okay, why is the drop is happening. Maybe because as a live streaming, of course, the user because now in India the wedding season is going on. Last week was a Valentine, So we have seen a lot of drop in the Dow, right? So first we think, okay, fine, yeah, why the drop is happening? Then we correlate, then we start correlating it. Okay, why there's a drop in a 14th Feb in evening? Normally on the one day before, so like 1 week before on same day we have a higher Dow, but it's dropped. So we'll see. Maybe it's a problem in the product, or maybe some like outside factors are impacting that. Plus revenue, like in the payment gateways, we'll keep checking like what percentage of position is changing. So that's the first thing we'll like check in the morning.
Wow, that's something totally different from what I've heard from other people checking their.
WhatsApp I'll not check. Like normally, like yeah, so like yeah, so maybe at like night at 12 o'clock, I will shut down like my phone. Right in the morning when I switch on my phone, my reports are already in my mail. So I will check that.
Got it.
And plus my boss, yeah, because actually my boss will like stay in Singapore, so he already ahead of me like 2.5 hours. The time I wake up, he already like ready with the so with the observations. So he keeping okay. So like, have you seen the report? Like these are, so maybe that's the right time to discuss with him. So like in morning we'll prepare the day.
Okay, that makes total sense now. Got it. So, dark mode or light mode? What do you prefer?
Both.
No preference. Anything works.
No, it's totally depend, right? Because dark mode and light mode. So your dark mode won't work on everything, or maybe your light mode, or maybe in the light mode everything won't look nice, right? So totally different. What so in the terms what you are using, right? So which thing you want to be like see at what time you want to see that thing, right? Normally, yeah. So like normally on daytime you always prefer dark mode, right? So like it's already light. So totally depend the time, the product, the application you're using, right? So it completely change the feel based on the modes, right? Maybe if you are using WhatsApp, like so maybe so like actually I am a person, I never use a WhatsApp in the dark mode, but as a like Instagram, I am the person I will use the Instagram in the dark mode, because Instagram already rich in the pictures, right?
Got it. Yeah.
So like there's a highlight, so your image will automatically highlight, so you it will look better. But WhatsApp is more on text side, right? So you don't want to use on that.
Got it.
So that's my preference.
Got it. So, one common onboarding mistake that a lot of apps still make. What do you think?
So so normally I will think, right, it totally depend, right? It's not a mistake, it totally depend on the product category, right? So actually normal like product, so like every product have a different requirement before like bring the user inside the app, right? So maybe if you are using like financial products, so your onboarding require a lot of data, right, before you jump on the homepage, right? Plus, so that's a one. So onboarding don't define on the product category, right? Plus, in the terms of product category, also which product can skip the onboarding, right? So like normally in like in the streaming, right? We know like in the onboarding, we don't want much information from the user, right? We only want like the faster authentication, right? Now today the phone number login the best login options, right? Because 19 if you see 90% people maybe in tier 2 tier 3 or tier 3 market, everyone have a smartphone, right? Everyone have a good internet and everyone have a sim or a personal number, because now the number is mandatory. Maybe if you want to access phone pay, Paytm, anything, or banking, your number is mandatory. So I think that's the one, like that's why like we like so like before when we have created the login flow, we give a lot of options on so like the login to the users. Then we realized, is it really want like, so like really want that much? We only want a phone number, right? Phone number will fulfill my authentication, right? Once and the phone number is a so with the help of phone number you can reach out to user as well, right? If you want to do a user interview, if you want to send some SMS or something, right, you can directly reach out to the user, because that's the one thing he always carry with him, right? So that's why like, and the market we are targeting tier 2 or 3. So totally so for it totally depend which market you are targeting, and based on that you create your like onboarding flow, right? not make it too complicated, because if you are and based on the product category as well, right? So your market and your product category will, I think, like you have to create a combination of both two before you creating any like onboarding or sign up form.
Got it.
Plus, what type of information you want from the user in a first login.
That makes total sense, but most of the times I get frustrated when there's no sign up with Google because just one click for
Yeah,
us, right?
yeah. See, yeah. So that's the one thing. Like we are in tier one, right? And like we are a tech freak, right? So for like so now like everyone like so as we are like working professional, we have a Gmail account, right? And we keep checking that account on a day-to-day basis, right? But if you give the same option, like login with, if you go to tier two or tier three market, right? If you see, if you give a phone number login and Google login, right? People will prefer the phone number login,
Now
right?
makes sense. Yeah.
Right. So because Google login is for them, like maybe they have created, they forget the login, they won't know how to authenticate. Maybe some people won't have the email, or maybe it's the same email ID are like indicated in like 10 different devices. So maybe devices, right? So it totally depends on the category of the user segment.
Got it. That makes total sense. Because even my mom, she doesn't have Google account, so definitely mobile number works for her.
Yeah, so and like it's faster, right? So nowadays, like mobile number also, like if you fill your mobile number, your OTP will autofill, right? Like before, like when you see like 2 3 year back, right? So like when you give the mobile number login, your SMS will come. You will check the SMS. You switch from the app. You copy that and you put, right.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to do it. It's more seamless, right? You put your phone number, send OTP. It auto authenticate as well. Just pick from the SMS, fill it, and you are in.
That's right. My next question is again about AI. One thing that AI will replace in the next 3 years.
Uh, So not replace, right? I will say like it's not will replace everything, of course, but it will make things faster, right? Normally, like slowly you will see the AI. Like when you see now, like everyone's talking about AI. Like whole market is AI, right? So of course, uh, how so first is how you can integrate the AI, like what's your use case with the AI, right? What the use cases you want to solve with the AI, and how you integrate the AI in your product or in your system, right? Otherwise, uh, the use cases solved with the AI is lot, right? But normally first till the time how you better integration of the AI, right? So a lot of things will, like as I said, like maybe I will say the testing or the your QA will not replace, but it will be faster, right? Normally, your sanity is like what you do, right? If you integrate the end badly, so it you like your app sanity or your QA will be more faster, right? So you're like today, if you're spending like around like a like 60 70 minutes of one round of sanity of the app, right? Maybe that will get done in like 2 3 minutes, right? Because of course he know like he will run the use case faster, right? So he will tell you and he will like where the actual problem is also, right? Now the first the QA have to define, he will write the use case, the test cases, he will then create the your like he want to reproduce it, give to the engineering, maybe that process will get more automated now, because you will run, it will create the like it will figure out the case, will create the video of that, and will directly maybe directly share with the like engineering team as well, right? So it's more automation on that front, so maybe it will, your turnaround time and your ship time will be more faster. But I will not it's everything will get replaced, but of course like the how you will integrate in a better. Yeah, customer support is one. Maybe it will get the high chance it will get replaced, right? Because normally, it's, like when you're integrating the AI in the product, he know a user more better than you, right? So we see like what type like what user is consuming, where is clicking. So normally, when he know the user day to day usage of the app, so maybe that customer support will get like replaced, not 100%, but at some level it will get replaced.
Got it. What about development side?
See, development side is uh, n- not will get, so of course like it's not like because the person who's creating AI like they are also developer, right? So of course, like AI can't replace the developer 100%, right? And you can't rely 100% on the like AI code as well, right? But yeah, so for the developers, like maybe your team size will be reduced, right? So like yeah, because like today if you're working with 20 so like 20 30 like engineers, right? Maybe after you integrate the AI, you won't require that bigger team. Your team became more lean, right? So because maybe like before you had like maybe 30 developer, now you can work with the 5 6 developer as well, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah, but you still want someone who can validate what the AI is giving you. So you need someone, but that's I told. In every field, the 100% replacement is not possible with the AI. But yeah, it things will get replaced by 90 to 95%.
Got it. Makes sense. So, uh, I would love to know a dream or goal you want to achieve in the next 3 years.
In next 3 years, what are the dream and goal which I have to achieve? Of course, so like I want to make VooTV big because that's my brainchild which I have like started last year, right? So of course, yeah. So in the next 3 years, I want to make it at least a $1 million product, right? Create a yeah, and to create a more better platform for the content creators, like to monetize their content, right? So we'll create a more and more like user friendly tools where the content creators can monetize their content in a real time.
Got it. I mean, my best wishes for that.
Thank you.
So almost we're at the end of the show, and I would love to know your final thoughts or message you'd like to share with the audience before we conclude.
Yeah. So, in the terms of final thoughts, which I want to give, right? Uh, great product management equal to a user depth, like understanding constant experiments and balancing between the business and the user experience, right? And I would like now like more than shipping the features. I think the product manager should be focused on the more on the real pain point of the users, right? and and work more and don't ship more features, ship less feature but actual pain point solving, which solve the actual pain points.
Got it. That's a very impactful, closure for the audience who's going to listen. And I think that's a wrap for today's episode. A huge thank you to Ravi for joining us and sharing
Thank
such
you. Thank you.
invaluable insights. It's been a really lovely conversation with you. I've learned so much about the ins and outs of the product management, and you wouldn't believe we've already passed more than 1 hour. So it didn't feel like even an hour conversation. It's just like we've been in the flow all this while. So it was lovely having you, and for thanks for all the insights that you shared so far.
Thank you. Same here. Like, it's my pleasure.